Hello guys, today in this video we are going to start setting up our Unreal Engine gameplay ability system. In the previous video I have given you the introduction of Unreal Engine gameplay ability system. If you haven't watched that, please go and watch it now. I have given the link in the description and I will give the link in the corner also. Okay, so let's get started. So I have just third-person template and it's a C++ project. I have named it gas series and I will just create this project. After I have opened my project, I will go in my plugin section and here I will enable the gameplay abilities plugin. And after that I will restart my engine. After that I will create some C++ classes related to the Unreal Engine ability system. So I will create those. I have disabled the live coding in my project and disabled the hot reload also, so it will not interrupt while I am creating my classes. Okay, first of all, I will create the Unreal Engine ability system component. I will name it gas ability system component. I will make it public and I will add this inside ability system folder. And I will create the class. Here I will choose no. So because I have to create some other classes also. Now I will create another class. This will be our attribute set. I will name it my gas ability system gas attribute set. I will also add it inside our ability system folder. I will create this class also. I will choose no again. Now I will create one more class that will be our player state, because we are going to add our ability system component on our player state. This I will add inside my core folder and I will name it my gas player state. I will create this class also. I will choose no again and I will close my Unreal editor now. After closing my Unreal editor, I will open my solution file of this project. After opening my solution file, I will generate my project files because my files are missing whatever classes I have created. So I will just right click and show more option, generate Visual Studio project files. And I will open this thing and now you can see my folders have came. So first of all, we will open our attribute set because we want to create some gameplay attribute for us. I will create a public section. Inside the public section, I will add some gameplay attributes. The variable type will be f gameplay attribute data. I will name it health. This will be our player's health. I will add a U property on this. It will be blueprint read only. It will be replicated also because we are going to create a multiplayer game in this series. It will be replicated by using a function. I will name that function. I will create the definition of this function in some time. Declaration and definition of the function. After creating these variables, I will add this inside a category also. And the category name will be main attributes. After this, I will create one more attribute. I will name that mana. This will be our player mana. And I will change this function name to mana. Now I will create these functions. our rep notify function will take a input of a attribute. This one will be our old health, and it will be a reference. We are going to pass it through a reference, and it will be a u function. Similarly, we will create another function. This one will be on rep mana, and this will be our old mana. And we have to create some getter and setter function for our health and mana attributes. And for that, Unreal Engine have already created some macros, useful macros which we can use. So I am going to paste some macros here, and this I will give in the description also, from where you can copy and directly paste this. What these macros are doing, these macros are simply taking the input of our base class of our attribute and the property name. The property name will be our health and this mana. By giving these things, it will automatically create the getter and setter function for our attributes. If you want to go on more details, you can just go on to the declaration of these macros. Here you can see the complete code what they are doing in the backend, and this is given by Unreal Engine by default, so we don't have to create these macros by ourselves. Okay, so we will be creating our getter and setter. For creating that getter and setter functionality for this, we just have to create this, and inside this we just have to pass our health value like this, our health attribute. And yeah, one more thing, before this we have to pass our attribute set class like this. And we also have to include the header file of our ability system component, because these macros are defined inside that only. Then you can see our red squiggle have gone. We will do this same thing for our mana also. And now our getter and setter functions are ready. Now I will create the definition for my rep notify functions. I'm using JetBrains Slider for creating the definition quickly. I think in Visual Studio also there is some shortcut for this. I think you can try to Google it or find it in some forms. Okay, so I will just create the definition of this. And for replicating our attribute set, Unreal Engine or have a, and the macro name is gameplay attribute rep notify. And inside this we have to pass the class of attribute set class, and the our class name is this thing. And after that we have to pass our attribute to gameplay attribute, that's our health. And there, after that we have to pass our old health here. Same thing we have to do it for our mana also. Here on place of health I will pass mana, and on place of old health I will pass this old mana. For making these attributes replicate properly, we have to override a function here, and that will be get lifetime replicated props. This function I will be overriding it, and I will create the definition of this function. After creating the definition of this function, inside this I have to pass my attributes. So for this there is one more macro which we have to call, that is do rep lifetime. Condition underscore notify. And inside this same thing we have to pass our attribute set class, then our attribute, and we want to rep notify it always. Whenever it changes, we want to rep notify it. And for our mana, I will just change it to mana, and our attribute set is ready. Now we can use it. Now I'm going to add the ability system component in my play state. Okay, so let's do that. So in my protected section, I'm going to create some pointers. It will be my ability system component. I will just name it ability system component, and I will forward declare this thing. And I will forward declare my attribute set also. I will create the pointer for my attribute set also. And I will name it this thing. Now I will give both of these a U property. Now I am going to add the getter function for both of these. So I will add those inside my public section. First of all, I am going to create the constructor for my play state. After that, I am going to override a function from the interface of ability system component. So I'm going to add that first. And yeah, for that, for using that ability system interface, first we have to add that gameplay abilities inside our build.cs file inside of public dependencies. So I'm going to add the gameplay abilities, this form. Now inside our play state, we can add it. This ability system interface. And before that, we have to add its header file also. And I think its name is ability system interface, this thing. Yeah. Now we are going to override a function. And it is going to return a ability system component pointer, this thing. It's already there. It have created my definition also. After that, I'm going to create the function for returning my attribute set also. And it will return here only. I will just return my attribute set. Now I am going to construct both each ability system component and attribute set inside my player state constructor. So let's do that one also. So inside my player state constructor, I will create a default sub-object for my ability system component, and it will be of type ability system component. And my rider have automatically included this ability system component. If you are using Visual Studio, please keep it in mind. You have to add the header file of ability system component, and I will just name it ability system component here. And after that, I will set its replication. Set is replicated. I will do it to true. And after that, one more thing, I will set its replication mode. And for our use case, I will use the replication mode to mixed. And there are three type of thing. There is mixed, full, and minimal. And what are the difference between those? I will show you now. So for that, I have created this chart. There are three types of replication mode in our ability system component. There is full, mixed, and minimal. Full, you will use it for single player. Like for example, if you are going to create a single player game, then you are going to use the full replication mode. And in this one, it will replicate like every gameplay effect to every client. It is only for single player use. And in the mixed mode which we are going to use, it is for multiplayer player control actors, in which players are going to control those multiplayer actors. And in this one, it is going to replicate gameplay, all of the gameplay effects, whatever the attributes we have created. And if we are changing any of those attributes with any gameplay effects, it is going to replicate those. And it will going to replicate the gameplay text and gameplay cues which are going to manage all our visual effects and those things. And in minimal, it is going to be used for multiplayer AI control actors. For example, like games like Clash of Clans, these kind of games in which that character is controlled by AI only. For example, you are only doing the like spawning of those characters. For example, if you are clicking somewhere on the screen, it is spawning a character, and after that it is going, whatever it is going to do, you cannot control that. That AI character is going to do itself. And in this one, those gameplay effects are never replicated. Those gameplay attributes and those things, those are never going to be replicated. And only the gameplay tags and gameplay cues are replicating. Only the gameplay tags and gameplay cues which are going to manage our visual effects and those things, those are only things which are going to be replicated. So we are creating a game in which like multiple players can control the actors. So we are going to be using this mixed one. So here in this our ability system component, we have used this mixed thing. Okay, so now we will create our attribute set also. We will create a default sub object for this one also, and this will be our attribute set, and I will just name it attribute set. Now we have created our ability system component and attribute set. Now we have to tell our ability system component which one is our owner actor and which one will be our avatar actor. So now inside our player character, I am going to add some of the same functions which we have created in our play state here also. So these attribute sets, whatever the ability system component and attribute set, I am going to add those also inside my protected section of my character. And I will use this one also for getting the ability system component. Those one also I am going to add. And for this thing, I have to do the same thing. I have to add this thing, this ability system interface. I will add this one also. And I will add the header file for this also. My writer have automatically added that. Same thing, if you are using Visual Studio or any other thing, please keep it in mind. You have to add those manually. And for I have to initialize the ability system component here. And for that, I am going to do that on server side and client side also. And so for that, I am going to override two functions, which will be, first I am going to override the possessed by virtual world, this function, and another one will be, I think, virtual void on wrap player state something. Yeah, this function, these two functions I am going to override, and I am going to create another function which is going to initialize our ability system component, and I will name it init ability system. So I will create the definition for all these function, or 4 of these function. I just inside header I have to select all of these. I will alt enter, and yeah, I have to add the forward declaration for these things also. So I will just copy those things and paste those here. Now I will just create the definition for all these. Now I have created the definition. Here I will just return my ability system component inside my init ability actor. Here I have to do that functionality. So for that, first of all, I will get my player state. I am creating this. This will be my player state, and I will name it guess player state. Here, this local variable. I will use the get player state function, and inside this I will specify which class I want. So I want this specific class. I will just use this thing. Now I will get that thing. Here I will use a check function. So in case I haven't set my ability and my player state inside my game mode, it will just crash this game. And after that, I am going to get my player state, and from inside this I will get my ability system component, and from this I will init my ability actor info, and for this I have to specify the owner actor and the avatar actor. We have created the ability system component inside our player state, so our owner actor will be our player state. So here I will just give the my player state, and after that, and our avatar actor will be our this character. So I will just specify this here, and after that I will just initialize these variables here. So I will for initializing this, I will just get my ability system component. I will make it equal to guess player state get ability system component, and for my attribute set I will just do the same thing, get attribute set. Now I have to do this thing. Now I just have to call this function in both of my this function. This on replay state, it will be doing also initializing our ability system on the client side, and our possessed by function, it is handled by our server. So it will be initializing our ability system component on the server side. So we have done the initial setup for our ability system component. Now we can go and test this inside our Unreal editor. So I will just compile all of these things. I will just build my project, and let's see if there are any errors. Currently we are getting some of these errors, and what are these? Let's see this. It's a simple one. We forgot to add our gameplay text and gameplay tasks inside this, and for this we just have to do one thing. On place of public we will add private, and we have to add gameplay text and gameplay task here. Gameplay text, and second one gameplay task. Now we will compile it again, and let's hope there are no errors. Yeah, it compiled successfully. Now we are going to run our project. So after opening my Unreal Engine, I am going to create my game mode. So I will create one more folder inside my blueprint folder. I will name it core. Inside that I am going to create my game mode, and I will use this cast series game mode. I will just name it bp underscore game mode, and after that I will open this game mode. Inside this game mode I want to assign my guest player state. Compile, save. I can close it now, and I will just assign this inside my world settings. Now I have assigned it. Now for testing we can check if our ability system is working or not, and so for that there is a console command show debug ability system. I will give this in description also. You just have to enter this inside console command and enter. Now you can see it's our ability, but it's not showing our attribute set. I think we have made some mistake, so we have to go. I think we haven't assigned our attribute set properly. Now let's go in our play state. Oh, this was our play state only on. So this was our mistake. Inside this we are creating the default sub object, but we are using the default Unreal Engine class for ability system component and attribute set, but we have to use our own attribute set this class. So I will just copy and paste this here, and I will add this thing. I will add that header file, and for this also I have to add that you guess ability system component. Yeah, this one. Now I will rerun my project. Now let's test it after fixing that issue. I will add that console command again. I will just enter. Now you can see it's showing our health and mana attribute which we have created before. So now let's test it if we can manipulate these health and mana effects through our gameplay effects. For that I am going to create some sample gameplay effect. I will use this class. I will just name it GE test effect. Inside this gameplay effect, I will add a modifier. Inside that modifier, I will choose which attribute I want to modify. I will use my health. And inside this, I will use add. You can use multiple ones: add, multiply, divide, override, invalid, something. I will just add this. So every time this effect is applied on me, it will just add like 10 health on me. And I will add another modifier and another modifier, and this one will be where is a heritage, and this one will be mana, and it will also be add. I will add like every single time when its gameplay effect is applied, I will add 20 mana on me. So I will just compile and save this one, and for applying this gameplay effect I will create a sample actor. I will just name it BP test actor. I will open it. I will add a box collision on this. And on this box collision, when I am beginning to overlap it, I will get my ability system component, and here I will check if it's valid or not. If it's valid, then I will apply the gameplay effect. Apply gameplay effect to self. And in this one, I will choose the gameplay effect I want to apply. That is GE test effect. I will just compile and save. Now I will add this in my level. And just for showing where is this thing, I will just uncheck this hidden in game so we can see this collision while running our game also. I will just increase its size little bit. Now I will just play it. Now let's run our console command. After that, now if I overlap that thing, you can see it's adding our health. If I overlap it again, it's adding again inside that one. Now you can see our ability system component is working properly. Now as our ability system is working properly, now I will show you some use case of gameplay tags in our gameplay effects. So for that one, I will create one more gameplay effect. And in this gameplay effect, I will just name it test effect 1. And in this one, this will be a duration one. So for example, in some games you have some kind of like potion or something, or you are doing some kind of thing. For example, if you are drinking that potion, then only you can do some specific thing or some specific kind of stuff. So what I am going to do in this one, so when we have this this gameplay effect, then only we can use this increase our health and mana with this thing. Okay. So in this one, I am not going to add any kind of modifiers. I am going to add a component. Inside that component, I am going to grant a gameplay tag to our actors. For that, I am going to add this target tags gameplay effect component. And what I am going to grant, let's create a gameplay tag first. So I am going to create a gameplay tag. I will just name it tag.a. And I will add inside my default gameplay tags.ini, and I will add this tag. After adding, I will choose this tag.a. I will compile and save. So whenever this gameplay effect is applied, it is not adding any kind of modifiers. It is only adding this tag on our gameplay actor, on our character. Okay. So I will create another of these BP test actor in this one. I am just going to use this gameplay effect 1. Okay, so inside our BP, where is our first gameplay effect? In this thing, we have to add a requirement. So in this for all modifiers also, I am not going to change any of this modifier. I am going to add one more component in this thing, and that will be tag requirements. Inside this gameplay effect will only be applied to us when our character have a gameplay tag, and for that we in the must have tags we will add this gameplay tag A. Okay, we will compile and save it. And one more thing, this has to be a duration, and I will just make it for example, when we got this gameplay effect, this tag will be on us, for example, for like 5 seconds only. After 5 seconds, this gameplay effect will expire and this gameplay tag will be removed from us, and then we cannot get that health and mana. Okay, so let's test this one. So inside this BP test actor 1, I will add this one. It's already added, but it's not showing. Yeah, it's added. I will compile and save this one. I will add this BP test actor thing here. For example, now we can see the smaller one will give us the tag, and the bigger one will give us the health and mana. So let's play test it. I will add my console command here. Now you can see our health is 0. But if I go directly in this bigger one, it is not giving us any health or anything, because we need the gameplay tag. So I will go in this smaller one, which will give us the gameplay tag. So if I go in this one, now you can see in our state playing, it's in the owning tag, it's showing tag A. Now if I go inside this, it's already removed because I didn't went our time. So I will go inside it again. Now you can see we got that tag. Now if I go inside this, you can see I am increasing my health. Now 5 seconds have been done. So, we cannot get the health anymore. So I will go in this again. I got that tag. Now I can again increase my health properly. And now it's removed again after 5 seconds. So this is a simple usage of gameplay tag. And gameplay tags can do many more things, like which we are going to cover in the upcoming videos. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any doubts, please drop them in the comment section, or you can join my Discord channel also. And if you want to help me make these kind of videos, please join my Patreon. There you can find the project files of this project also, and many more things. Thank you.